Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, following the theme of my last two debriefing videos, this one is going to be a debrief of week 4, 5, and 6 all together because I'm currently in week 6 right now. I'm finishing week 6 and there will be no week 7. So I figured let's just put these last 3 weeks together. So looking at each week as a standalone week first, week 4 was the week that I got cross-moderated. And I got cross-moderated. The cross-moderator, she observed 2 of my classes, one grade 7 and one grade 9. And what she told me was, she said she really enjoyed the grade 7 class. She loved it. She liked how I was accommodating to them. And just so that she can say it wasn't a perfect lesson, she told me 2 things to work on. And then with the grade 9, because I've been struggling with this grade 9 so much and we needed grades, that lesson was less of teaching, more a work heavy lesson. And so she told me if she were to grade me based on this lesson alone, I would have gotten an F. Because when people come to cross moderate you, they come to see you teach. So even if you have in mind to do a work heavy lesson, you still have to do it as if you're teaching, first of all, and you still have to introduce something new to the students, or at least make it look like you're introducing something new. It might be something they know already, but always make it look like it's something new so that the person who's cross-moderating you can say, okay, yeah, it's a work intense lesson, but there's still learning taking place, there's still teaching taking place, and there's still that educational conversation happening. So that was week 4. Week 5 really kind of effed me up, to be honest. Week 5 was supposed to be internal moderation, which is where a team from the university would come and cross-moderate my teaching once again. And it was coming down to the end of the week. I think it was a Thursday. It was on a Thursday. And I hadn't seen the team from my school yet. But when I got into my grade 9 class on Thursday, I saw the external moderation team, which is somebody from the Ministry of Education, basically the person who's going to be you can't teach. We don't like your teaching style. We can't do anything for you. That team. So it was her. It was the senior officer of education from the Ministry of Education in the Bahamas, and it was a Spanish teacher from a senior high school. And I've worked with the Spanish teacher from the senior high school, and she is a very tough cookie. She's a very tough woman. She's the type of Spanish teacher where once she walks into her class, English stays at the door. She will run an entire 60-minute class strictly in Spanish, and the students better jump on and catch up. And that's just not my personal teaching style. When I teach, I give instructions in Spanish, I give commands in Spanish, I give examples in Spanish, and there are parts of my lesson that I strategically pick to do in Spanish, but I also include English translations for the students. So I will speak Spanish, that's all you're hearing. I would have Spanish for you to read, so that's all you're reading at points. But there's also points in the lesson where I decide, okay, I can put this in Spanish. I will always do Spanish first, language first, always. And then I would do the English, or I would do the Spanish in size 24 font, and I would do the English in size 8. So the first thing you're going to see is the Spanish. The Spanish is always there. It's always in your face, but the English is always there as assistance. So that's my teaching. That's how I do it. And that's just not how she did it. And so after I did the lesson, I was extremely nervous. First of all, they were in the class before any students. So it's not like they snuck in and I didn't know they were there. So I was just doing what I normally do. No, they were there first. They were there 20 minutes before any of the other students. So I saw them, I knew they were there. And then they kind of introduced themselves, and they let me know that they were there. They weren't sneaking around anything. So they were in the lesson, and I taught or whatever. And then at the end, I like to know,
do you have any feedback for me? Is there anything that I could change? Anything that I need to grow on?
And they told me that they couldn't give me oral feedback at that moment, which I was okay, fine. There's a method to all of this that's happening. But they both told me that they really enjoyed the lesson. The teacher told me that she really enjoyed the background that I used because it made her feel as if she was in an actual classroom. And she also told me to continue doing what I'm doing. And I feel like that's a very positive thing, because if I was doing something that they didn't like, they didn't appreciate, they didn't think was maybe age appropriate or all of the above, they would have never given me the go ahead or the green light to continue doing what I'm doing. So I took that as a very positive note. And then the day after, the Friday, is when the college team the university team, finally decided to jump in and observe my lesson, and it was with a grade 8. And that grade 8, and I feel like I've said this before, they literally blow me away every single time we meet. They are just so smart, so engaged. And this is the thing, like in high school, it's very difficult to find a group of students that like enjoy the language and they're engaged and they're speaking and they're asking on topic questions, and you can teach and still have fun. That is very difficult to do with high school kids. Maybe 7 and 8 are different because they're still fresh in a way, but it's very difficult to teach and have the kind of fun that we have, like play games. Like that's what we do. That's what I try to do in the virtual classroom. We play games, we play Guess Who, we play tic-tac-toe, we play some semblance of musical chairs. Like that's the kind of things that I do. That's how I teach. And so the university team came in and they moderated. And before I could even ask for feedback, they left. Like they excused themselves. The other team said, "Thanks for having us in your class, da 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 da." The university, they didn't do that. They just left. So it was 5 or 6 members of the team that came from the university. So I just picked one. She's my academic advisor, so I figured that would be the easiest conversation to have. And I asked her, like, can I get any feedback? Is there anything that I can change or build on? And she just said, she's
muy excelente, Marisha, muy excelente.
She did say that there was one thing. I think that there are better words that can be used to get a certain thing across. For example, well, not even for example, this is what happened. So during the lesson, I have a few students who like to, and I think this was with grade 8, maybe. I think it was with grade 8. No, it was with grade 9. It was with grade 9. I have a few students who like to unmute their mics while they're playing like the dirtiest songs. Like one of the girls, is it Eve? My bad. She was playing that in the background, and like they literally unmute their mics for 2 seconds to play like the longest stream of curse words that they could fit in that 2 seconds, and then they turn it off. And so the second it happens on Teams, their name pops up on the screen in a little circle. And the second I see it and the second I hear it, I go, hey, no, like for example, Asia. Hey, no, Asia, that's not what we're going to do. If that's the environment that you choose to study in or you choose to learn in, then that is completely up to you, and I have no say in your environment. However, it's not fair for you to distract other students with your music or with your environment. And so when I emailed the advisor, the one thing that she said was that I shouldn't, what's the exact word she used? I want to use the exact word because it was the word itself that kind of made me feel some type of way. The exact thing she said was, muy excelente, Marisha, muy excelente, I'm very proud of you, but not all students have a say in their background, so it's not fair of you to berate them for the environment that they're in. And it was the word berate, because when I think of berating someone, I'm thinking basically like the worst of the worst. I'm thinking like, oh, you're loud, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're never gonna get this, like that. When I think of berate, that's what I think of. And I think that there's so many different words that she could have used other than berate, because I don't think that that was what I was doing. She could have said, be more conscious of the fact that not all students have control of their own backgrounds or over their backgrounds or over where it is that they learn. Be more aware, be more cognizant, be more conscious of the fact that like the English language is crazy. There are millions of words that mean the same thing. And I don't think that berate was the right choice of word for what had happened. So that's neither here nor there. That's me. I want to say that. So week 5, as a standalone week, I got observed twice. I don't know if that happened with everybody else, but that's what happened with me. So Now we move into week 6, which is where I am now. This week started off as a mess. I'm saying that because in this week alone, I've had 4 different teaching schedules. The first schedule that I got, my cooperating teacher told me I would teach on Monday, Wednesday, just Monday and Wednesday. I would teach my grade 8 on Monday and grade 7 and 9 on Wednesday. That's what she told me at the beginning of the week. So I started making my 3 lesson plans. Then she told me that on, I think like a Saturday, she told me that I would teach those 3 classes on a Saturday. And then on the Sunday, she comes back and she's like, okay, no, you are going to just plan for the entire week. Plan your 5 lessons. You're going to get this entire week to teach. So I said, okay, we jumping from 3 to 5 and it's already Sunday. Like, where's the heads up? Like, where's the early notice? Like, I'm pretty sure the Ministry of Education doesn't do this to you all. Tell you, okay, yeah, just teach the 3 lessons this week. Bam, the day before you start teaching, no, we need you to plan 5. So I was kind of like upset about that, but I'm also just like, it is what it is. Like, this is my teaching practice. I am going to take what I can get because this is week 6 and I need to teach for the 3rd moderation team to see me. So there's that. And then, so Monday, I teach the grade 8, which was supposed to be an asynchronous lesson, but I literally hate asynchronous lessons and I don't think they make sense. And my grade 8 hates it because I tell them it's an asynchronous lesson and they need to work by themselves, but also they don't leave the team meeting. So like, we're still there, we're still in the class. So I might as well just share my screen and teach you and tell you guys what I'm meaning in the PowerPoint, because you're going to ask me questions about the PowerPoint anyway. So like, I'm just going to teach you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I taught the Monday, and literally Monday night, she calls me again and she's like, okay, so do you taught already for Monday? Fine. Tuesday, prepare for teaching 7 and 9, and we'll have 8 and 9 take their exams on Thursday and Friday. So I'm still like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Tuesday, the day before I'm supposed to teach 7 and 9. Mind you, I was struggling, like literally, and I don't know why, literally struggling with this grade 7 lesson plan. The PowerPoint, done. Perfect. But the lesson plan, like I didn't like my objectives that I wrote. It wasn't one of my best lesson plans, and I don't want to teach something if it's not the best. Like if it's subpar, I don't want to teach it. I don't, that's just me. So I was already struggling with the grade 7 lesson plan, but I was going to like struggle and make it perfect. But Tuesday night, literally Tuesday, I would have taught grade 7 at 11 a.m. on the Wednesday. She told me, okay, no. Grade 7 is going to take their exam tomorrow. Grade 9 is going to take their exam on Wednesday. Well, that would have been tomorrow because it was Tuesday night she told me this. So she said grade 7 is going to sit their exam tomorrow. Grade 9 is going to sit their exam on Wednesday, which would have been the same day that the grade 7 sat their exam. And grade 8 will sit their exam on Friday. So I sent another message back just for clarification, because this is me. If you tell me one thing, but like in a roundabout way, because she could have literally just said, just plan for Thursday. But if you tell me one thing in a roundabout way, I'm going to respond back straight to the point so that we have this. Like, this is exactly what you said. So I responded with, so I'm only planning a lesson for Thursday's grade 9 class. She said, yes. I said, okay, perfect, because my grade 9 lesson plan was perfect. Those were the most beautiful objectives I've written thus far. Like, I've literally put in work. I'm ready for this Thursday lesson. So Wednesday comes and we plan, well, we don't plan, we test grade 7. They sit their exam, they have an hour to do it. It's like a forms, I think it's Microsoft Forms. It's a Microsoft Forms test. So she ended up taking very long with the grade 7. It extended over class time by like 30 minutes. So I decided, I took it upon myself to go into the grade 9 and kind of advise, because I'm under the impression that they're going to sit their exam. So I go in and I kind of tell them, like, hey, your main teacher is caught up with grade 7 right now. But when she comes in, this is what's going to happen. She's going to come, she's going to run you guys through what to do, and then she's going to put the link to the exam in the chat, and you open it from there, and bing, you take your exam. I just cut in and he said, hey, are we taking the exam today? Because the teacher told us that we were taking it tomorrow. So I said that I was kind of flabbergasted, because I'm like, she literally just told me the night before that I would be teaching on Thursday. So why would you put an exam for a day that you told me to teach? And So I told him, I'm like, we'll just have to wait until she comes in, because she apparently told you guys something different from what she told me. And while I'm telling him this, I'm also messaging her on my phone. I'm like, hey, grade 9 said that you told them their exam would be tomorrow and not today. And she just was like, yes. So I'm like, okay, but like not really okay, because it wasn't really okay. Like, I needed to be observed teaching this week. And every time my schedule changed, I sent an email to the chair of education at the University of the Bahamas. So she is aware of all of the schedule changes that I've been through, and she's also aware that there is no more time for me to teach. I ended up emailing the head of the department at the school and just asking, like, hey, is there any more teaching days? Because my teacher said that students would be going into the school next week to sit exams. And she said, yes, there's no more teaching days. And she was apologetic about it. She was like, I'm so sorry for any inconvenience this may have caused on your teaching practice, but this is something that came down from the Ministry of Education and we have no control over. So I had to be understanding in that regard. Therefore, the University of the Bahamas had to be understanding on my behalf, because I had no control over it. And now hearing the school had no control over it. This has just been an out of control year, point blank, period. So that's currently where I am. It is currently Thursday. So the day you guys watch this video, the day you guys see this video is the day that it is recorded. Like, this is literally a live update. So yes, it's 9:51 and I have to be in my classroom for 12:10 to moderate this exam and to facilitate the student chats, just to make sure no funny business is happening there. And then tomorrow, grade 8 sit their exam, and that is basically it. So the gist of this video, I guess, is I don't know if I'm done. Overall, I'm assuming it's supposed to be 3 moderation teams and then the cross moderator and my supervisor. And I've only had my supervisor, a cross moderator, and 2 moderation teams. So I don't know if I do think, though, like, worst case scenario, I don't fail, but they just will tell me, like, we need you to come back in January to teach a class to be observed, or to teach a class so that the final moderation team can see you teach. And like I said, that is the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, they say, okay, with the 2 moderation teams and the cross moderator, the grades from your supervisor and a grade from your cooperating teacher, we can still give you your pass like that. That's the best case scenario. So it's either what I have is enough and I could get my pass like that, or what I have is not enough and I will have to go back in and teach maybe a week of classes, maybe just 1 individual class. I don't know. But that is the, like, live update. Like, you guys literally got it as I got it. So hope you guys enjoyed this update. I'm thinking maybe I'll do 1 more teaching practice update, like just like a full overview of the entire situation. Maybe I'll do that if I get a grade, like if I don't have to go back in January, or I'll just update you on if I do have to go back in January, and then we'll have another debrief just around that situation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so that you can see more videos from me. If you guys have any videos that you want to see me make, put it down in the comment section below and I will do that for you. We'll do that for you individually, just for you. I will do it. Yeah, love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.